Welcome to this episode of Wreck-It Recruiter. I'm Katie McConnell Olson, your resident floating head and Wreck-It Recruiter expert, here to help you wreck everything related to hiring and human capital so that you can complain about it. And today we're talking about how to hire as absolutely slow as possible. Brought to you by the Strategic Advisor Board and GrowthWise Search Partners, providing human capital and hiring solutions for rapid growth companies all across the United States. All right, so first of all, let's talk about the merits of a really slow hiring process, right? Number one, we never want to rush into anything. It's not like it's a candidate market where people have options and there are 1.9 open jobs for every candidate in the market right now. I mean, it's not like that's the case at all. So the slower, the better, right? And certainly we don't want to get creative with any strategies that might accelerate the process at all. I mean, we don't want to rush into anything. We don't want to scare people off with commitment. And certainly we don't want to commit to anything because once we hire somebody, it's for life and we can never undo that decision or make a change if it doesn't work out, right? We're stuck with this decision forever because we're just going to bury ourselves in a closet, rock back and forth and cry when it doesn't work out, rather than managing for performance. By the way, watch that episode on non-performance for all kinds of helpful tips on how to just be an ostrich and not actually take control of what's happening in your own organization. So, anywho's, we're going to have a slow process. So that starts with, of course, we're going to write a job description and post an ad. Then we're just going to let it sit for like 2-3 weeks. We're busy. We don't really have time to follow up with people, and reviewing resumes are a lot of work. Plus, our job description's going to be kind of lackluster and terrible. And so we're going to get a lot of garbage that doesn't meet our needs, and it's going to create more volume and unnecessary work. So let's just ignore it. Then when we finally get around to reviewing resumes, remember, 3-4 weeks later, we're going to call people, send emails, but they might fall in their junk box. Let's not follow up proactively with a text or a phone call. That's extra work. Again, we're trying to not work very hard. Hello, we're already busy. So let's not worry about that. And when people finally get back to us, most of them are probably going to be off the market because we waited too long. That is the first point in time that we're going to get really annoyed and blame other people, right? If it's not passive aggressive and it's not poor communication, wrecking things is all about blaming everybody else and blame shifting. So this is a great point to start blame shifting and complain that other people are terrible and that it's not because of you, and, skirt personal responsibility. So from there, the people that do get back in touch with us, we're going to drag our feet and meander about scheduling a time to talk to them. We're definitely going to want to talk to them before we bring them into the office, but maybe take a day off. You're busy and tired, so just meander, don't get back to them, schedule it at kind of the last minute. Maybe 1 or 2 more will drop out because they're annoyed or they also took other jobs. So again, blame shift. You've got a life. It's up to them. They obviously didn't want it that bad. Now, this is the point in the hiring process where you can sort of justify negativity through your own sort of contrived ideas. Like, well, I guess they just didn't really want the job that bad, or they would have stuck around another week or 2 and waited for me. So from there, once you get around to the interview, have them come in for the interview. You're going to run that process kind of shoddily. We've talked about this before too. If you're paying attention at this point in time, you also understand how to run a terrible, if not illegal, interview process. So you've got that covered. Once they are done with the interview, don't follow up and don't get back to them for a while. Again, meander, take your time, don't follow up. Remember, it's always better to give an update that adds value than to just tell somebody, hey, I just want to touch base, I don't have an update yet. So non-communication is always better than wasting people's time with, non-updates like I'll get back to you on Friday. Like, nobody wants to hear that. They'd rather just have radio silence from you. Once you eventually decide to hire someone, if there's anybody still standing that's made it this far, you'll know these guys really want the job. These guys and gals, they really want this job because they've stuck around 8-9 weeks through my process. And we're talking multi-interview process with lots of fits and starts and ghosting on your end in between, right? Now, once they got the job, let them know that you want to extend an offer and then ghost them for a couple days. Again, you're busy. You said you'd get around to it, so you'll get them an offer when you get to it. And once you actually get around to getting them that offer, make sure it's a terrible offer. You didn't talk about salary because you didn't get around to that either. So things are malaligned, conversations drag on, and in the 11th hour, they probably take another job because they get to the finish line somewhere else before you. Now, this is the last point in the cycle where we're going to blame shift again and blame everybody else once again, and also justify that they really didn't want the job that bad in the first place. Then we're going to start the whole process all over again and do it again. And that, in summary, is how to hire as slow as absolutely possible and not get good results. All right, so some of that may have resonated with you as maybe some things that you are doing or not doing, and things that maybe you can tighten up in your process. So, to take a deeper dive into how GrowthWise can help optimize your hiring or take it off your plate entirely, click on the link in the description below and we'll be glad to have a conversation about it. And like, comment, and subscribe also for more helpful hints on how you can sabotage everything. See you next time.